I shouldn't have taken that last night shift alone in Yellowstone National Park, because I'm pretty sure something out there noticed me first. I worked seasonal night security for one of the smaller maintenance zones, just outside the main tourist areas. It wasn't some official ranger role, more like checking gates, watching the Quicknet yards, making sure no one wandered into restricted geothermal spots after hours. Mostly boring stuff. My shift usually started around 10 p.m. and ended at 6 a.m. By midnight, the park gets different. Not scary at first, just quiet in a way that feels too big. No cars, no chatter, just wind, trees, and sometimes distant animal sounds that echo weirdly across the land. I had a routine. I'd drive the same loop every night. 3 checkpoints, 1 storage yard, and a stretch of road that ran past a tree line near a closed trailhead. I'd usually park there for a bit, eat something, scroll my phone, wait for time to pass. Nothing ever happened. That's why I didn't take the first thing seriously. It was around 1:40 a.m., maybe my 3rd or 4th shift that week. I was parked at that trailhead spot, engine off, just sitting in the dark. My headlights were off too. I liked it that way. It made the stars easier to see. That's when I noticed movement near the trees. Not running, not walking, just shifting. At first, I thought it was a bison or elk. You get used to seeing silhouettes out there, big shapes moving slowly. So I didn't even turn the lights on. I just watched for a second. But it didn't move like an animal. It was too upright. I remember actually laughing a little under my breath. I told myself it was probably a person, maybe another worker cutting through or some idiot who snuck in after hours. So I flicked my headlights on. The thing wasn't there anymore. Like, not walked away gone, just gone. I even got out of the truck, shined my flashlight toward the trees. Nothing. No footsteps, no sound, just wind. I told myself I imagined it, that my eyes were adjusting weird in the dark. And honestly, that explanation felt good enough. So I got back in the truck and finished my shift. The next couple nights were normal again, quiet, uneventful. I almost forgot about it. Until the second thing happened. Same spot, same time window, around 2 a.m. This time I wasn't even looking outside. I was on my phone, half asleep, when I heard something tap the side of my truck. Just once. Light, like someone flicked the metal with a finger. I froze for a second. Then I rolled my eyes, thinking it was a branch or something. But there were no trees close enough to hit the truck. I leaned over and looked out the passenger window. Nothing. I even opened the door and stepped out, walked around the truck, checked the roof, the sides. No scratches, no branches, no animals. And again, no sound. That's when it started to feel off. Not scary yet, just wrong. I remember getting back inside and locking the doors, even though I never did that before. The rest of the shift, I kept checking my mirrors. Nothing else happened. The third incident is where I stopped being able to brush it off. It was colder that night, like noticeably colder than usual. I had the engine running for heat, sitting in the same spot like always. I don't know why I kept going back there. Habit, I guess. Anyway, I was staring out the windshield when I saw it again. Near the tree line. Same shape, same height, just standing there. This time I didn't turn the lights on right away. I just watched. And the longer I looked, the more I realized something wasn't right with how it stood. It wasn't shifting its weight. It wasn't swaying with the wind. It was completely still. Too still. I slowly reached for the headlight switch. The second the lights came on, it was closer. Not walking closer. Closer. Like it skipped the distance. I actually said, "What the hell," out loud, just sitting there gripping the wheel. That's when my brain finally stopped trying to make sense of it, because no animal moves like that. No person either. I slammed the truck into drive and pulled out of that spot faster than I should have. I didn't finish my loop that night. I just drove around the lit areas until my shift ended. I told myself I was just tired, seeing things, stress. I even considered asking to switch routes, but I didn't want to sound crazy, so I didn't say anything. Big mistake. The night that really messed me up happened a few days later. I remember the exact time because I checked my phone right before it started. 2:17 a.m. I had forced myself to go back to the same trailhead. I don't know why. Maybe I was trying to prove to myself it was nothing. I kept the engine running this time. Lights on, doors locked. I wasn't taking chances. For about 20 minutes, nothing happened. I actually started to relax. Then I noticed something in my rearview mirror. At first, I thought it was just a reflection of my own headlights bouncing off something. But then I realized there were no lights behind me. Still, something was reflecting back. I slowly leaned forward, adjusting the mirror, and that's when I saw it. Not behind the truck, inside the beam of my own headlights, but off to the side, standing just outside where I had been looking. I don't know how long it had been there. It wasn't facing me. It was tilted slightly away. And this is the part I can't get out of my head. It looked like it was listening. Not moving, not breathing, just tilted slightly, like it was focused on something I couldn't hear. That's the moment that stuck with me, the one I still think about, because it didn't feel like it was there by accident. It felt like it knew I was there, and it was waiting. I grabbed my phone, thinking I should record it, but my hands were shaking too much. By the time I looked back up, it was gone again. No footsteps, no sound, nothing. I didn't even hesitate this time. I put the truck in reverse and got out of there immediately. But as I was driving away, I saw something in the side mirror. For just a second, something moving along the tree line, keeping pace with the truck. Not running, gliding. That was the closest I've ever come to actually panicking, like full-body panic. I sped all the way back to the main road and didn't stop until I reached a lit station. I stayed there the rest of the shift. After that, I avoided that area completely, made excuses, changed my route, stayed closer to buildings and lights. But here's the part I haven't told anyone. A week before my contract ended, I was parked near a different checkpoint, not the trailhead, completely different part of the park. I was sitting in the truck, engine off, just listening to the radio, and I heard that same sound again. A single tap on the side of the truck. I didn't move this time. Didn't look, didn't even breathe for a few seconds, because I already knew there were no trees nearby, and I didn't need to check to know something was standing right outside. I finished that shift without ever opening the door. I quit a few days later. Didn't give a real reason, just said the night work wasn't for me. People always ask if I'd go back. I tell them no. What I don't tell them is why, because I still don't know what I saw out there. I just know it learned where to find me, even when I stopped going back to it. And sometimes, late at night, when everything's quiet, I still catch myself listening, like something out there might still be trying to figure out if I'm alone again.